Hello there amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new exciting Doctor Who review for today. And of course, welcome to the new subscribers that actually have helped me literally book up to 900 subscribers. And of course, I haven't really looked today how many subscribers I got because I have been at work. So I kind of want to get this video out now because yesterday, well, technically last night, I watched The Three Doctors. And of course, I watched it on the standard release on Blu-ray. And I absolutely love this story. Now, this is honestly my favourite multi-Doctor story, followed by The Five Doctors, followed by The Day of the Doctor. And I absolutely love it. It really is a great cracking adventure starring William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, Patty Troughton, Jon Pertwee, Katy Manning, and of course, Nicholas Courtney, John Levine, and of course, the fantastic other guest cast, aka the actor that plays Mr. Olives, and of course some other great characters, and including Stephen Fry as, well, not the Stephen Fry, you know, Stephen Fry, who does the fantastic voice of Omega. Yes, I absolutely love this story. So before I get into the actual plot, I'm going to bring up some of the story. Now, the question I was asked is, would I give this story a recommend? Would I actually recommend the story to a newcomer to the show? Well, yes, I would. If you love multi-Doctor stories that we basically had for kind of like The Power of the Doctor, and then of course for Twice Upon a Time, you know, Day of the Doctor, and of course Time Crash, and of course you do love multi-Doctor stories, would I recommend this one? Well, to be honest with you, yes I would. I think it's a good introduction to a multi-Doctor story, and this is actually the very first multi-Doctor story. So I absolutely love this story. So this story was actually broadcast from the 30th of December 1972 up until the 12th of January 1973. And of course it opens Doctor Who's 10th season during its 10th anniversary. Well, it literally just celebrated its 9th anniversary, and then of course basically ran about, 10 months they started airing, you know, the 10th season. And it's actually quite a cracking season. Season 10 is. It's my favourite Pertwee story. Well, my favourite Pertwee season, sorry. And of course, this is one of my favourite stories from the Pertwee era. It's actually in my top 5. So let's get into the story, shall we? So we end up after the credits, aka the rolling title sequence, which is absolutely brilliant because I love the multicolours of the Jon Pertwee logo. You know, and of course we have a shot of Mr. Olives, and of course he's there by this container, and of course he actually calls somebody from the government, Dr. Oh, what's his name? Dr. Olives. Is it? Oh, what's it? I can't remember the doctor's name, sorry, the actual professor from a university or something. And of course, Mr. Olives is accidentally sapped into a universe of antimatter. Now, regularly, antimatter and matter cannot mix. So, of course, for somehow, this entity shouldn't really exist in our own universe of matter. But in fact, it does. And of course, it's trying to make a capture on a Time Lord. And not just any Time Lord. The Doctor in his third incarnation. So, of course, this antimatter is literally taken to UNIT, where basically you've got the Doctor, Joe, the Brigadier, and Sergeant Benton all talking about basically what's this thing, what's he going to do with UNIT. And, of course, when the Doctor literally picks up the X-ray, and, of course, he goes, Dr. Tyler, that's it. Dr. Tyler goes, no need to worry about Mr. Olives, Dr. Tyler. What do you mean? That is Mr. Olives. What? I also love the fact how the Doctor literally asks the Brigadier to pass him a silicon beacon, and of course he literally gets a cup of tea and he literally stirs his tea with it, and he goes, is there anything UNIT can do, Doctor? And I love that. I really do love that. And of course the Doctor and Joe take Bessie and they go to the actual scene of the crime sort of thing, and of course they're talking to Mr. Olives' wife. Absolutely brilliant. I honestly love her. She's actually quite good. I really like the way how she explains, and of course what he normally does. And then of course they cut back to Unit HQ after basically Dr. Tyler is sapped into the universe of antimatter and a few bits of Unit Laboratory. And then of course when you got the Doctor, Joe literally arriving back at Unit, it cools out of the drain pipes, and you just got that sound without, and of course Bessie gets taken, and of course the Doctor and Joe gives that fantastic line from Katy Manning, poor old Bessie. I really love the music as well. The music really helps as well. So of course when the Doctor's there talking, and then of course he goes, that was his second mistake here in this laboratory. What? Where I normally work. And yes, Joe, tell them about Bessie. Well, don't, yes, you see, Bessie's gone. Whatever the thing is, it is after us. It is after me. And then, of course, when you kind of get to the unit laboratory, like the unit lab and basically the unit base, and then, of course, you've got soldiers outside, and all of a sudden, you kind of got that sippy noise that goes, zoop, zoop, zip. Oh my God, what's that? Says one unit soldier. And, of course, you got the gel guys that go blah, 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 blah. And, of course, then you got the one hand and they let you go. I love the unit battle. I absolutely love it. It goes, first the scout, and then the reinforcements. And then, of course, when they're all there talking, literally, because the actual antimatter creature literally does come out of the drain pipes again after the Brigadier's gone, the Doctor has to push Joe and Sergeant Benton into the TARDIS. And then, of course, he literally goes to Sergeant Benton. Well, Sergeant Benton, are you not going to say what everybody else does? It's bigger here on the inside than it is on the outside. Everybody else does. I love, basically, Sergeant Benton's reaction. He goes, nothing to do with me, Doctor. Nothing to do with you, Doctor, but nothing surprises me anymore. I absolutely love that line. It's just brilliant and such a Benton thing to say. And then, of course, when they're kind of talking, and of course, the Doctor has to send an SOS to the Time Lords. And as it's there bleeping, the Time Lords there basically saying, we can't spare the Doctor, but maybe he can help himself. Show me an early Doctor. And of course, they show Patty Troughton. And then, of course, basically, you got the sound of the TARDIS kind of materialised, and the Doctor goes, you ain't touched nothing, have you? No, and then, of course, they're like, it's a flute, it's a recorder. And of course, Patty Troughton's hand pops out and he goes, I've been wondering that, Scott, too. And he plays, he goes, you haven't been trying to play this, have you? And of course, you kind of got them talking. And then I love the way how Sergeant goes, Doctor, where did you spring from? And then, of course, Joe's there, literally confused, and she asks, who is he? And the Doctor goes, he's not one of them, is he? Not one of them. He's one of us. One of me. Oh, no, 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 no. No, you can forgive the poor chap for being a bit slow. You see, Joe, I may call you Joe. He is one of me. Oh, I see you both times. Quite. But not quite. We're not just Time Lords. We're the same Time Lords. And I love the way how John Payne goes, oh, please, you're just confusing my sentence. Look, Joe, it's all quite simple. I and he is me. And, of course, she mentions a song by the Beatles. And I love how the second Doctor goes, oh, how does it go? Oh, do be quiet. I really love how the second and third Doctors really just bicker at this point. I love how they are literally just absolutely bickering. And of course, the Time Lords literally see them two arguing. And he goes, show me the early Doctor. You want him to? Yes. And of course, you have a shot of William Hartnell wearing his costume in his garden. And he goes, he should keep them in order. And then he literally comes on the screen. And I love how he goes, ah, so you're my replacements. A dandy and a clown. And I love the way how you literally got John Pertwee and Patrick Troughton looking literally happy to see William Hartnell's face. And then they're like, insulted. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, the first Doctor tells him to turn off the force field because it's literally a bridge. And he goes, what's a bridge for? Crossing. Now stop dilly-dallying and cross it. I love that music, like do. And they literally go, no, wait, oh, please, you just made him fade again. And I love how Joe goes, I hate to ask, who was that? Me. I just love how them two literally bicker. And of course, the Doctor goes, toss for it. And then, of course, he goes, heads. And he literally goes, hard luck. I absolutely love the Three Doctors. It is just a cracking, amazing story. It really is just cracking and amazing. I love how these Doctors just literally bicker and bicker between the two of them. And then, of course, the third Doctor does go into the Universal Antimatter, leaving the second Doctor at unit, and at the surprise of the Brigadier. And, of course, no, Brigadier, leave it alone. It's not dangerous at the moment. And, of course, he goes, oh, no. Oh, yes. But it's the first one. Good to meet you, Brigadier. And of course, I just absolutely love that line with the second Doctor with the Brigadier. And of course, when basically the second Doctor accidentally creates a machine and it literally makes the antimatter creature kind of flustered, and it makes it kind of move, and he goes, oh, quickly into the TARDIS. And of course, he basically pushes the Brigadier in, and the Brigadier's reaction to the TARDIS goes, so this is what you've been doing with millions of pounds of unit air fund. Hey, Doctor. And of course, the Doctor goes, oh, no, this is what they all look like originally. And I absolutely flat out love basically Nicola Courtney's reaction to the TARDIS. It is absolutely brilliant. And of course, when they're literally talking about the force field, turning it off, because the first Doctor comes in and he goes, 3 of them. I didn't know I was one off. And then, of course, Doctor, if you turn off the force field, that thing out there will get into the TARDIS. Precisely. Hold on tight. And the second Doctor literally presses the button on the TARDIS. And from the outside, with the face of the unit people kind of horror, the Doctor accidentally takes the whole Unit HQ to the universe of antimatter, where his third and basically companion, aka Joe Grant, have basically gone to. And of course they re-meet with Dr. Tyler and Bessie, and of course they're being watched by Mr. Olives. And of course during that point they get captured, taken to this fantastic, really great detailing base by some jail guards, and of course they meet Omega. And of course the Doctor and Omega are there talking, and then basically around about episode 3 the second Doctor comes in. He goes, I made it to set out to look for a Time Lord. Could it be 2 Time Lords? I love how the 2 Doctors goes, ha! The same Time Lord! Oh, the High Council must be very desperate to break the laws of time. I really love Omega, and of course I love how the Doctor and basically, well, the 2 Doctors and Omega are there literally having bouts and forth. And of course I love how they basically insult Omega, and he goes, you shall fight the dark side of my mind. The dark side of my mind. Like that. I absolutely love that fight with the 3rd Doctor and the dark side of Omega, basically having that fantastic kind of fight between them. He goes, who will suppose the will of Omega shall not live? Destroy them! And of course he's strangling the 3rd Doctor, and the 3rd Doctor's kind of like, no, and you got the 2nd Doctor, no, leave him alone, leave him alone, Omega, leave him alone. I absolutely flat out love that fight scene. Absolutely brilliant. I love how basically the 1st Doctor's there talking to the Time Lords at that point as well. And of course they send him through the antimatter universe in his little bubble. And I just absolutely love it. It is such a great story. And then of course I love the bit where you got the 2 Doctors basically fighting over Omega's will. And then of course when they go back to Omega after sending everybody away, Omega thinks the 2 Doctors are going to take his place so he can escape into our universe. And when he takes off his helmet, and because there's nothing left to the Doctor's horrors, and he goes, you only exist because your will allows you to exist. If my will can destroy. And I love that all building, and of course you got the 2 Doctors trying to escape. He goes, I love that the 1st Doctor goes, where's Bessie? That's where I should have done. You did. Look, tie tracks leading back to Unit HQ. What? And I love to have the 1st Doctor goes, what? Like that. And the 2nd Doctor goes, like that. I absolutely love that line. Flat out love it. It's just such a great thing. And of course, during that point, we do re-meet Mr. Olives. And of course, basically, he ends up going into the TARDIS after the 2 Doctors basically get back to Unit HQ. I absolutely love the bickering. I love the fact how they find the 2nd Doctor's recorders falling into the TARDIS force field generator, and they kind of give it to Omega. And of course, Omega does not get out of the box. And everybody gets put back into their own little time zone, back where they came from. So all the unit equipment, the TARDIS goes back where it came from. The 2nd and 3rd Doctors come out of the TARDIS, and of course they all there just talking. And then of course I hear the 1st Doctor back on the TARDIS scanner, and of course we should go back into our own times now, goodbye. And of course the 1st Doctor fades, and the 2nd Doctor says his goodbyes, and of course leading basically the 3rd Doctor and Joe basically talking. And of course the Time Lords do give the Doctor back his own freedom to travel through time and space, which is absolutely a brilliant story. I really love how the 3rd Doctor goes, and you did a masterization circuit, and I like how Joe goes, oh, that means you'll be off then. He goes, not at all, I need to make a new force field generator. And of course, I just love the bit where basically before they all go, the 2nd Doctor goes, where's Mr. Olives? What? Where's Mr. Olives? Oh, he's probably gone back to where he came from. And of course, he literally goes back into the little field. And of course, as he's there walking home at the literally of the episode, his wife asks him where has he been. They've had soldiers looking around for him. They've had police. Well, and I love how his comment just goes, you never believe me, woman. Is supper ready? Such a bloke thing. You never believe me, woman. Is supper ready? I love it. I just love it. Such a great line to end this fantastic story. It's just absolutely brilliant. Just pure brilliancy. So, The 3 Doctors, is it a great story? Yes, it is. It's definitely a 10 out of 10, and it is an A++. If you haven't seen The 3 Doctors, I would highly go and recommend it if you just want a fun, fantastic story from Doctor Who, and of course starring 2 great doctors, aka Jon Pertwee and of course Patty Troughton, and even of course William Hartnell for a few scenes, because at that point William Hartnell's health was kind of deteriorating. So after the story kind of aired 2 years later, William Hartnell did actually passed away. So this is William Hartnell's last ever acting role for television, and of course it's his last role basically returning to the role of the 1st Doctor since the 10th Planet. So, the Three Doctors. What do you think of my review? Does it make you want to go and watch the story yourself? Do you want to see what other people think about it? Because there are other people who have reviewed this story. So, thank you for watching. Please do like, subscribe, and share. And join me for more awesome Doctor Who content. Thank you for being magnificent viewers and subscribers.